Good afternoon, and welcome to Man Cave Meditations. Let's dive in. So I was just watching one of my go-to shows, Secular Talk with Kyle Kalinske. And a video I think he just made today, or maybe it's a day old, I'm not sure. But, and the clip that he did was like a 10-minute clip, maybe a little more. And it was about, his video was about another investigative journalist's work, or like mini video, like it was a video within a video. This other investigative journalist's video on Russell Vought. And I wish I didn't even take the time to, the name of the investigative journalist did a great job on the video of what his name was. But anyway, watch Kyle's video on Russ Vought. It's great. And I had known about the guy, but this was an eye-opening thing. That's why I highly recommend watching it. Because it's just like something clicked in. Like as I'm watching this video, something clicked in. Like I thought it was all stemming from Miller, and it is stemming from Miller. But Steve Miller, he's like the visible one, right? The one in the public eye, the one that will, make the whatever. He's the public one. He's the public facing one. The one you could see, the villain you could see, right? Like Star Wars geeks out there, it'd be like your Darth Maul, right? Whereas this other guy, Russ Vought, he's like the Darth Sidious. You don't hear from him. He's just all like in the shadows, but he's really controlling the whole thing. He's the puppeteer. I was kind of thinking that, like. But now I get it. After watching it, he's the puppeteer. And as I'm watching this recent clip of Miller, the way time passes right now with the concentration of events over time, it could have been a week ago, it could have been days ago, when Miller was on, CNN? And he mentioned, he was himself talking about that the president made the statement that the president has plenary authority, which is absolute authority. And he, like, after saying that, it was like, he caught him, so he stopped talking, like he just froze. Stage fright. All of a sudden you got stage fright? No, I don't think so. The sound was working. We could hear. It's like, like the kid that just said something that he knew he was going to make his dad or mom and dad mad. Like Darth Maul said something that he knew was going to piss off Darth Sidious. You just said the quiet part out loud, son. What the hell are you doing? Yeah, the president has plenary authority, but the American people don't know that yet. They don't accept that yet. We're working towards that. So why would you say that? And he just sat there just quiet. Because he wasn't thinking about the president. He was thinking about Russ Vought. The president was here golfing or whatever, like, he didn't bullshit to someone. He had plenary authority. He doesn't know what the fuck that means. Well, I'm sure actually that he does know what it means, because that basically means I get to do whatever I want. And that's all he's ever wanted. I get to do whatever I want. And anything that stands in the way of me doing anything I want is a problem. And that's why he's perfect for them. He's perfect for this puppeteer, this Russ Vought. Perfect. Perfect for this whole movement. And, he's the guy at the head of all this. One of the main architects of Project 2025 and this and that. And you could just watch, from watching this man speak, just this, again, Kyle Kalinske, the Secular Talk, just did a video on him. And watching this man speak, this Russ Vogt, and his shit doesn't stink. He knows. He just decided at one point that he knows the truth. And that somehow breaking the United States government and all these things that he just thinks that to be true is true. So what do they do? They're breaking this thing. Call it our government, our systems, just the way that things have been done post World War II, or have evolved over time over to our 250-year history. And they're just taking a sledgehammer to it. That whole thing's a China shop. They're just taking a sledgehammer to the whole China shop, breaking this and breaking that. USAID, food stamp, help our, money towards education, pediatric cancer research, sledgehammer. And what I feel is happening, they're breaking it more and more, and at some point, you set the fire alarm off, you break enough, so you break a pipe. You're going to put that sledgehammer through a pipe. You're going to break something that matters. It's this whole system, as they have been trying to basically destroy it. Like kids running through the inside of a tank and just pulling wires out and this and that. Trying to get it to just screw it all up. And so far that it's been resilient, the tank, but at some point there's so much stress on all the systems, the economy, just all we're in a government shutdown. It's something's going to give. And I'm not suggesting that something is catastrophic in any way, but the fact of the matter is that when something gives, it's usually like this is all self-imposed. Right? So when something gives, they've gutted so many of the systems, the government systems that have been built over time that could, come in or either be preventative to such a catastrophe happening, be it self-imposed or no. They could be preventative voices, right? Or they will be the ones who go in and help with such said catastrophe. Well, a lot of that stuff's gone. So what happens is there a FEMA? What happens with the next natural disaster? Is there a FEMA? Or rather, what happens when the next natural disaster happens in a blue state? That's the main question. Mississippi, North Dakota, yeah, we'll be right there, no problem. California? Could help? Gavin could have to kiss the ring first. States might want to start thinking about having their own FEMAs. A thing may already exist, but that's going to happen. Some of these systems, they're trying to break a thing, but they're not going to know how to deal with it if it really breaks or there's cracks. They're not going to know how to deal with it because, first, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. None of them. They're all bullshit artists, charlatans, satanic people. So, A, they're not going to know what they're doing. And B, they've gotten rid of all the people who did know what they were doing because they didn't want to be told the truth. And the people that they replaced them with, if they replaced them at all, are idiots. They're ass kissers. If you ask a question other than, can I have a Diet Coke? Order me my McDonald's. Wipe my ass. Give me that toilet paper. They don't know. They know how to kiss your ass. That's what they know how to do. So none of these people know what they're doing. And so far, nothing really, I don't say catastrophic, but, nothing's really happened. Just like in his first, nothing really severe happened, And he's just they're slow walking into just a shit show of their own making, and B, that they're not going to be able to handle. I feel that. I felt a lot of things. And a lot of things that I felt have come to be, some have not, but I feel that. I feel that they're breaking it It's like they're breaking the thin ice of the lake, and they're breaking it, and they're hitting it, and they're hitting it with a hammer, like looking at their friends, like, look, I'm making a crack, Sure. What if that crack goes all the way through? And then that fissure, that split, that crack goes all the way to each part of the lake, and all of a sudden parts of the lake start to go in, because it is thin ice. And then you and your friends are going to be in a frozen lake. Unless you get to shore. They're breaking it like almost just like a child, like children who think they know, but they don't know. And they're breaking it without any idea of consequence of their actions, of what the consequences could and would be. This arrogance, such arrogance. They think they know, but they don't. They don't know. They don't know what they're doing. And they're about to, tomorrow, month, at some point, just the cracks, again, they're breaking, kids breaking the ice. And at some point, the cracks, it's just going to get away from them. Right? And anyone who could see them through a problem like that, they've already fired. So, the consequences will be bared based upon their ignorance and our ignorance of putting them back in office. So anyway, all right. Spoken enough. Lots of love. God bless.